Welcome back to the channel, everybody. This is John with SwingFit. So picking up where we left off last week with our conversation around swing weight, today we're going to respond to another one of your questions, and we're talking about shaft weight. So if you ever question whether or not if you are playing the right golf shafts in your clubs, be it too heavy or too light, then today is a great day. So without further delay, let's jump in. Jacob from sunny Orlando sent in the following question. As of recently, I've been struggling with consistency with my driver. Not only do I struggle with finding the fairways, but I also believe I'm losing some distance. I'm currently playing a 65 regular flex shaft. Is there any value with dropping down in weight? Well, Jacob, that's a really cool question and a lot to unpack, so let's kind of take this piece by piece. So first off, let's talk about the golf shaft's role within the golf club and what it's really designed to do. The golf shaft, simply stated, is really nothing more than a timing device. Its job is to help you find center of face, because we know if we're ever going to help our customers achieve optimal performance, center of face is king. And if your stamp pattern looks like this, all over the place, everywhere but the middle, I can assure you, you don't have the right timing device yet. And although this is a heavily debated topic pertaining to what is the true engine of the golf club, is it the golf shaft or the club head, I will go as far to say this. If you put the wrong fuel in that high performance track car, you're only ever going to achieve half of its full potential. Right? It's just not going to be optimally tuned. And the same can be said about the golf clubs you're using. If we don't have the right golf shaft, that right timing device, then it's just going to put a little extra pressure on your technique, and it's going to be harder to find center of face. So let's dive a little bit deeper and talk about the implications of weight as well as flex, because they do go hand in hand. Now, when we're helping our customers pick out the weight in their golf shafts, it really does come down to helping them evaluate two key factors. The first one is probably something you're already familiar with, and obviously I'm talking about club head speed. So it is really important to understand how fast you are swinging that golf club, because it's a crucial ingredient. But it's not the end-all be-all ingredient. It's just one piece of the puzzle. The second piece of the puzzle comes down to how are you swinging it fast. And here I'm talking about the shear load or force you're applying to that golf shaft. You can have a smooth Freddie couple swing and it looks like you're barely swinging at all, and you can generate a significant amount of club head speed, but with little effort. But on the other hand, you can look like Bryson DeChambeau and have a short, compacted swing and swing out of your shoes and apply a tremendous amount of speed and a tremendous amount of force. So speed and force definitely equates to maybe a little heavier or stiffer shaft profile. Because we know one of the things that golf shaft will do, it's going to deflect or bend in multiple directions. And depending on how fast you swing and how you're swinging it fast, you can cause that shaft to deflect in ways that may not be optimum for you to achieve your peak performance. Now that we've taken care of that, let's take a look at a sample speed reference chart that we like to use as a starting point when we're taking our customers through the fitting process. And this will look very similar to that of maybe some of the other speed charts that you may have seen before, because generally speaking, every single shaft manufacturer will have a speed chart of their own. The big difference is they're going to associate speed with flex, where ours associates speed with weight. As you can see from this reference chart, there are several different categories or buckets you could potentially fall into, and I always like to use this as the starting point. And please hear me loud and clear, this isn't the end-all be-all. I'm not going to tell you if you swing the golf club this fast, you need to go with this weight. We always need to test, try, and measure to ensure that that weight is working appropriately for you, but this makes sure that that I'm not wasting swings on shafts that I may consider to be too heavy or too light. So as an example, if you happen to fall in that 90 miles and under category with your driver, we're going to be looking at lightweight golf shafts, so 55 grams and under. And if you happen to be at the other end of the spectrum, right, super fast swing speed, loading the club, we're going to be looking at 70 grams and heavier. As with any process that we follow within the club fitting industry, there's always going to be a couple of exceptions. And I can think of two right off the top of my head that would require us to either put somebody in a heavier weighted shaft or a lighter weight shaft than that of what our speed chart references. The first scenario I can think of will be somebody with a slower swing speed who's also struggling with a slice. So if you happen to be struggling with the slice and you're already using that lighter 55 gram weighted shaft, the total weight of the golf club could just be a hair too light, and maybe you're struggling with feeling it, and that's why you're casting it or coming over the top. So here, what we have found that could mitigate that would be going with a heavier total weight golf club, aka heavier golf shaft. In this situation, that heavier club, you can feel it, you can actually drop it into the slot and be less out to in. And you're not going to eliminate that left to right ball movement, but you should be able to turn that slice into a nice little controllable fade or cut, and that's going to yield some additional distance. So the second scenario involves our medium swing speed players. So unless you're right dead in the middle at 100 miles an hour with your driver, you might be on the verge of crossing the threshold to 110 or getting a little bit closer to 90. So as an example, if you're actually swinging it at 105, 106, and you're finding that the 60 gram weighted shaft isn't really doing a trick or it's not as stable, sometimes going up in weight but down in flex can actually be a nice complement to help you make that transition until you do cross that threshold. And vice versa, if you're swinging, say, 95, 93, and you're finding that 60 grams is just maybe a little too heavy, going down in weight but up in flex can also provide you that extra stability you need, because you still have the ability to swing at 95, but yet we want a little bit more extra oomph with that lighter weight. So those would be two key scenarios I can think of why you might want to deviate from the speed reference chart, but in the end, a club fitter can be your best friend and help you navigate this selection process so that way you are choosing the right timing device. So there you have it. We truly hope you found value with the information we shared with you today. And if nothing else, well, at least now I hope you have a little better understanding of why a club fitter might move you up in weight or down in weight, or better yet, use a combination of weight and flex in order to help you find the best timing device. So should you have any questions about today's topic, do us a favor. Just leave your comments and remarks below. And if you did find value, it would mean the world to us by pressing that thumbs up, because it lets YouTube know you love the direction we're moving towards. So until next time, thanks for watching. And oh, by the way, before I forget, if you didn't check out last week's video on swing weight, here's a quick link. Catch you later.